So welcome back here to Croft. Now we have the Aprilia Thousands. Marc Ramsbotham, there he is, the series leader at the moment. Darren Jones, number 3, but he's got number 2. Daniel Tarratt back on the grid now for this year. Tarratt making a return after retiring, but also riding a 2-year-old bike. It's Jonesy that's got the drop on Ramsbotham. I just caught a glimpse of Tarratt, number 2, around 4th place. So these two, you remember, Daniel Tarratt and Darren Jones, went at it head-to-head at the last race at Brands Hatch last year, and the result just went to Daniel Tarratt after a small mistake from Jonesy after he led most of the race, or he stayed, should I say, in 2nd place for most of the race, of course, because the winner, Warren Scott, not racing this year, has moved on to bigger things, British Superbike, I think. 64 going through there at the moment, and that's Dylan Fox, of course. These big Aprilia 1000 RSV Mille machines, all bog standard. Jonesy leads it. There is Tarratt, number 2. Let me remind you, he is on a bike that's 2 years old. So, whereas most of the other lads are all on bikes that are from this year, 2004, including the race leader at the moment, young Jonesy, Darren Jones. So Jonesy winning the opening round at Snetterton. Said it's very slippery and greasy out there at the moment. We've had rain again. Oh, up to 2nd place and almost off the track. Number 45, Ben Garner. He keeps doing that. He'll be off the track, I think. Remember, these are standard. It's a production class race. They're all on the same tyres. They're all untuned machines. They are allowed to change the chip and the rear cam. Well, there we go. Somebody off. Not sure who that is. Might be 62. I think it could be, I'm not sure. Can't quite see the number. You just moved, Mr. Marshall? No, not in time. Well, whoever it is has got off. So it could have been actually Paul Rogers, number 60. Race leader. It's still Darren Jones. 2nd, it's the 22 bike of Jason Dixon. So Dixon having a good ride. Remember, as I said, these are production machines. It's getting dark again. It's getting dark. Big black clouds are beginning to find their way over this side of the circuit. And Tarratt up into 3rd place. So Daniel out of retire. I spoke to his dad at Snetterton. He said, well, we just don't have any money. We can't buy a new bike, so we've decided to retire. But I think they've had a think about it and said, well, OK, we've got the bike, let's go racing. So, of course, you do realise that the winner of this class gets a brand new bike from Aprilia at the end of the year. Warren Scott, of course, got the one last year. Was presented to him at the MRO dinner in January. So I think this year Darren Jones has high hopes of getting that new bike at the end of the year. Tells me he's going to retire afterwards. 16, don't believe a word of it going through there. That's Doug Lowe. Yeah, Jonesy says I'm going to retire. I think that's, of course, if he wins this year. No reason why he shan't, but there's always somebody out there that can give him a run for his money. 22, 2. That's no change then in the top 3. Jason Dixon is still there on that 22 bike. He's still got Tarratt behind him. There is the 24 bike of Keith Pringle going through. They'll start to open up some gaps now, the guys at the front. A little bit quicker than some of the other riders. It is really, in some ways, an entry class, this, to come racing. You buy yourself an Aprilia 1000 and you enter. And as I said, you take the lights off the bike. You do the necessary changes to the machine to bring it up to standard for scrutineering, and get yourself a racing licence and do a few track days, and then you're on, enter for it. Because by all means, it's a good laugh. These lads do have good fun out there, and it's fairly inexpensive because these are production machines. So Tarratt has gone up to 2nd. Right, I think the spark's going to start flying now because Jones is going to know Tarratt's there. Here they come. Oh, that big black cloud over here just doesn't seem to want to move. We're going to get rain, I think, which would at all surprise me, because every time the Aprilia 1000s go out on the track, it rains. Something about these guys, they seem to attract water. That looks like number 10 there. That's Steve Kenworthy. Yeah, Kenworthy is in there as well. Now, this is the race leader. It's still 3, Darren Jones. They're lapping at about 79 miles per hour at the moment, which is relatively slow for these bikes when you consider that they are 1000cc machines. They are on standard tyres. They're not running on slicks. They're standing on, say it's a one tyre class again. 16, Doug Lowe. 38, Chris Norris there behind him. So they're having their own little war at the moment. They're running down, I think, 7th and 8th position, so points to be had. Here comes the two at the front, and Tarratt is definitely hunting down Jonesy. This is what we saw at Brands last year. Jonesy held second for the whole of the race bar the last couple of laps, made one small mistake, and Tarratt was straight through on him to take the number 2 plate for this year. Tarratt's through. He's found a way through under braking into the complex. Jonesy down to second place. I don't think he's going to like that for very long. He's having a look up the inside. Does he get through? No, he doesn't. Here they come. It's the drag down the big start and finish straight. The new bike versus the old bike, and at the moment the old bike looks to be a well matched to the new bike. Remember, Jonesy on a 2004 machine, Tarratt on a 2002 machine. I think it's a 2002. I know it's a couple of years old. Might even be a 2001. I don't know. 23. That's John Carson. All Aprilia 1000 RSV Milles. These are 58 there. That's Tony Jones, Anthony Jones. He's running in the top 8 at the moment. So, but what's going on at the front? Is it Darren Jones that still leads, as Tarratt again found a way through on the back straight? There is Tarratt. Where is Jonesy? And he has. Yes, Tarratt's got through again. I thought that Jones had managed to get back at him, but he hasn't. 22 bike of Jason Dixon goes through as the rest scrap out for the remaining places. There's that 10 bike of Steve Kenworthy. Familiar blue machine. Easy to spot on the track. Thank you very much, Steve. 73, Marc Ramsbotham, who in actual fact did crash early in the race, but has picked the bike back up again and got back into it. So well done. And here we go, and it looks like Jones has gone through again. Yes, he has. Darren Jones back into the lead. Tarratt going deep on the brakes there, but Jones is shutting the door on him. So Daniel Tarratt having to contend with the speed of that new Aprilia out front. I don't actually know if there is a lot of difference between the bikes, but I'm sure you guys could tell me. 64. He's still in there, still battling hard, Dylan Fox. Now I think Fox is now up to 3rd. I could be wrong. 28, I think that is, and that would be John Coughlan again. Here we go. These are the two out front. That is definitely Jonesy that leads it. Tarratt is there in second place, and these two, well, if Daniel could just get a little bit more out of that bike, I think we're going to see a really good scrap for the championship this year between these two. It's quite nice over this side of the circuit, but when they get the other side, it's a bit dark. That is, no, I think that's actually 3rd and 4th there. So Dylan Fox running 4th, number 10 Steve Kenworthy. That could still be Jason Dixon, the 22 bike, that's in there in 3rd. So as they settle themselves down, it's round again for another lap for Darren Jones. The number 2 bike of Daniel Tarratt still there in second place, chasing him down. So it's 64 and 22. Have we seen a change here? Yes, we have. Fox has gone up a place. 22, John Dixon dropping down to 4th. I don't know if he's got a problem with that bike or whether the tyres are just beginning to go off. But they're still at it out front. Darren Jones, 3. Daniel Tarratt, 2. Both are, well, I'm not going to say identical bikes because they're not. One is a 2004, one is an older bike. Oh, and it's starting to rain. You can see it's starting to... Oh, dear. Wet weekend here again at Croft. It rained apparently the day before. And I can remember coming to Croft not so many years ago where they had to call the whole event off because all the roads were flooded and they couldn't get the ambulances in and out of the circuit because the roads were flooded. Well, we are in Yorkshire, I suppose, and this is April, so you must expect some April showers, but we're getting monsoons in for the moment. Oh, you saw it then, just a little flick there from Jones's bike. It's very slippery out on that track. They're running basically standard tyres. There's the new 3rd place man, Dylan Fox, going quite nicely at the moment. He's steady. I don't think he's going to risk anything. Just keep the bike nice and steady. And the rain, well, it's just eased up on this side of the circuit. It's started, it's a bit sort of rainy. Yeah, it is still raining, but the sun's actually come out as well. So we've got a few rainbows. As the race leader starts to pick his way through the slower riders, this is where it can all go sadly wrong. There he's 3rd place man. Yeah, the conditions really were not conducive to good racing. So rain, sun and rain. All we needed was a bit of snow. Oh, down goes number 6. Well, I think that's number 6. John Pugh, that would be. Well, he'll pick that back up again. heavy old bike, but the order then at the end of the race was Darren Jones from Daniel Tarratt from Fox, Kenworthy up there to 4th, John Carson, Marc Ramsbotham, Anthony Jones, Keith Pringle, Chris Norris and Doug Lowe rounded out the top 10. It was wet, it was windy, it wasn't nice, but Jonesy was smiling, so he should. He leads the championship.